Did you know the average worker spends 51% of their day on low to no value tasks? Half your workday gone. Ever wondered why your to-do list never seems to shrink despite those long hours? I'm going to show you how to flip that equation completely by creating a 2-hour system that focuses on the 20% of work that drives 80% of your results. Working smarter yields exponential outcomes when you focus on high-impact activities. This approach organizes your workflow to maximize productivity during your peak performance hours. No more wasting time on tasks that don't move the needle. Ready to reclaim those lost hours and transform your workday? My breaking point from 12-hour burnout to the 2-hour revolution. Have you ever felt like you're working all day, but getting nowhere? That was me 2 years ago. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., grab my laptop before even brushing my teeth, and immediately dive into emails. By the time my kids were heading to school, I'd already been working for hours, yet somehow my actual to-do list hadn't shrunk at all. My days stretched into 12, sometimes 14-hour marathons. I'd be at my desk from dawn until well past dinner, missing meals, barely taking bathroom breaks. My family got used to seeing the back of my head, hunched over my keyboard in what became my permanent position. I'd promised to join for bedtime stories or family time, but work always seemed to take priority as another weekend disappeared. Despite all those hours, I was constantly falling behind. Important deadlines whooshed by, client projects stacked up. My inbox grew faster than I could clear it. The more hours I worked, the less I seemed to accomplish. It was like running on a treadmill that kept speeding up while I was getting more and more tired. I remember one night finding myself still at my desk at 11 p.m., staring at my computer screen with burning eyes, unable to remember what I'd actually done all day. I'd been busy nonstop. But what had I actually accomplished? The answer was painfully little. I was drowning in busy work while the important stuff remained untouched. You know the standard productivity advice, right? Work harder. Use this new app. Try this calendar system. Wake up earlier. I'd tried it all. I had more productivity apps on my phone than social media ones. My calendar was color-coded to perfection. My to-do list system was so complex, I needed a separate to-do list just to manage it, and none of it was helping. It was making things worse by adding another layer of busy work. The breaking point came during my daughter's 8th birthday. I'd promised her for weeks that nothing would keep me from her special day. I'd even blocked the entire afternoon off my calendar with big red "do not schedule" warnings. But then, a minor emergency popped up with a client project. Just a quick fix, I told myself as I slipped away from the party preparations. 4 hours later, I emerged from my office to find the party was over. The house was quiet, decorations half taken down. My daughter's face when she saw me, eyes still puffy from crying, her smile faded to a look of quiet acceptance. It shattered me. That look said she hadn't really expected me to be there anyway. And the kicker? That emergency I'd been handling? The client didn't even implement the changes I'd spent hours perfecting. All that sacrifice for absolutely nothing. That night, I broke down. Something had to change. I was sacrificing my health and my relationships for email threads and meetings that went nowhere. The traditional productivity advice I'd been following clearly wasn't working. In desperation, I started researching the science of productivity, not the fluffy life hack stuff, but actual research on how our brains work and how work actually gets done. I went down a rabbit hole of studies about cognitive function, focus, attention spans, and work outputs. What I discovered literally changed everything I thought I knew about productivity. The most shocking finding? Study after study showed that knowledge workers could only maintain genuine focus and high-level cognitive function for about 2 to 3 hours per day. Not 8 hours, not 12, just 2 to 3 hours of real, high-quality mental work. The rest was mostly low-value busy work, pretending to work, or working at such reduced capacity that the output was mediocre at best. I remember laughing when I first read this. 2 hours? That seemed ridiculous. But then came the uncomfortable question. If I was honest about how much truly valuable work I was doing each day, was it possible that only a couple of those hours were actually productive? I decided to test it. For 1 week, I tracked everything I did, hour by hour, and categorized each activity as either high-value work, work that directly created results or moved important projects forward, or busy work, email, most meetings, administrative tasks, reorganizing information, etc. The results were embarrassing. Out of my 12-plus-hour days, I was spending less than 2 hours on truly high-value work. The rest kept me busy but produced almost no meaningful results. I was spending 83% of my workday on activities that generated maybe 20% of my actual results. This led me to a revelation. What if instead of trying to work longer, I focused intensely on just those high-value activities? What if I engineered my day around protecting and maximizing those critical 2 hours, rather than stretching myself thin across 12? I designed an experiment. I would identify my highest value work, structure my day to give that work my peak mental energy, and eliminate or batch everything else. Instead of working 12 scattered hours, I would work 2 hyper-focused hours on only the most important tasks. The first day was terrifying. I felt like I was cheating. While everyone else was grinding away for 8+ hours, I was intensely focused for just 2. But by the end of the first week, something incredible happened. I had accomplished more on my important projects than I typically did in an entire month. It wasn't magic. It was simply the power of directed focus on high-leverage activities. By giving 80% of my energy to the 20% of tasks that created the most value, everything changed. The results were beyond just work output. My stress levels plummeted. I was present with my family again. I had energy for exercise and hobbies. I was sleeping better. People commented that I looked younger and happier. My business grew faster even though I was working far less. Why do most people 80% of their workday on low-value tasks? Because they've never identified which 20% of their work creates 80% of their results. They're confusing activity with productivity, motion with progress. I know you're probably thinking, my job requires me to be available all day, or I have way more than 2 hours of important work. I had those same objections. I'll address those concerns later in this video. But understand that I'm not saying you'll only work 2 hours total. I'm saying you'll focus your most valuable mental energy on 2 hours of high-impact work, and it will transform your results. The truth about productivity, nobody wants to admit. Those same objections kept me chained to my desk for years, but here's what nobody wants to admit about productivity. Working longer hours is actually making you worse at your job. When I discovered that the average office worker is truly productive for less than 3 hours per day, I realized I wasn't failing at time management. I was fighting against basic human biology. Our entire work culture is built on a bizarre contradiction. We're expected to sit at desks for 8+ hours while our brains physically cannot maintain high-quality focus for that long. It's like trying to sprint a marathon. Impossible, yet we beat ourselves up for failing. I remember sitting in meetings where executives bragged about all-nighters and working weekends. We'd nod along as if destroying your mental capacity was praiseworthy. The science tells a different story. Stanford University research found productivity drops sharply after 50 hours per week, and after 55 hours, it plummets so dramatically that extra time becomes pointless. Think about those late evening reports you write after a day of meetings. They're filled with errors your morning brain would never make. Our brains operate using attention residue. When you switch between tasks, part of your attention stays stuck on the previous activity. Picture your mind like a whiteboard that never gets completely erased between uses. This residue accumulates throughout the day. By afternoon, your brain resembles a computer with 50 tabs open, technically running, but slow and crash-prone. The corporate world has trained us to ignore these biological realities. We've created a culture where being constantly available equals success. But availability doesn't equal productivity. Microsoft recently studied their employees' brainwaves and discovered that back-to-back meetings literally stress the human brain. Without breaks between cognitive demands, our ability to focus and generate insights decreases significantly. Yet in most workplaces, a packed calendar signifies importance rather than diminished output. The average worker checks emails 74 times daily and switches tasks every 3 minutes. After each interruption, it takes about 23 minutes to regain deep focus. Do the math. If you're interrupted constantly, you never reach your cognitive potential. When researchers examine actual productivity, valuable output created, not hours worked, they consistently find meaningful work happens in concentrated bursts. A study of elite violinists revealed they practiced in sessions of no more than 90 minutes, rarely exceeded 3 sessions daily, and took more breaks than their less accomplished peers. Their success came from intensity, not duration. The same pattern appears with writers and programmers. Nathan Contney, creator of draft writing software, tracked his coding and found his most productive day, writing code that became his company's foundation, consisted of just 2 hours and 36 minutes of actual coding time. I want you to work harder and better during your peak hours, instead of diluting effort across an artificially long workday. Quality thinking requires intensity, not endurance. When was the last time you entered that magical flow state where time disappeared and you made incredible progress? For most people, these moments seem random. They aren't. These periods of peak performance can be systematically created through proper environment and triggers. According to Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman, our brains have natural ultradian rhythms, cycles of heightened alertness lasting roughly 90 minutes, followed by natural energy dips. Fighting these rhythms is like swimming upstream, exhausting and ineffective. Imagine trying to paddle against a strong current all day versus riding the waves strategically. Studies show our decision-making deteriorates throughout the day. Judges reviewing parole cases made more favorable decisions early in the day and after breaks. By late afternoon, mental fatigue led to harsher judgments, not from unfairness but from cognitive depletion. That project you're stuck on? You might be approaching it when your brain is running on fumes. Creative insights don't come from marathon brainstorming. They emerge when we focus intensely on a problem, then step away. This explains why breakthrough ideas often happen in the shower, during walks, or right after waking. The modern workplace prevents this natural problem-solving cycle with constant disruptions. This isn't about working less because you're lazy. It's about working differently because you understand how your brain functions. When you align important work with peak mental energy, complete it in focused bursts, and give your brain recovery time, something remarkable happens. You produce better work in less time. So yes, you can be productive in just 2 hours daily if you're ruthlessly selective about what deserves your attention during those hours. If you protect your cognitive prime time like the valuable resource it is. Elite athletes don't train at maximum intensity all day. That would cause injury and burnout. They work in carefully designed intervals with specific recovery protocols. Knowledge work demands the same approach. Your brain isn't designed for the constant cognitive marathon modern work culture demands. It's built for focused sprints, followed by recovery, operating in natural cycles we've been trained to ignore. The 3-part system overview. Simple but powerful. Those natural cycles we've been trained to ignore? They're actually the foundation of the most effective productivity system I've ever used. While everyone else is trying to hack their way to more hours, this approach does something counterintuitive. It shrinks your workday to just 3 phases totaling 120 minutes. The question isn't whether you can afford to work just 2 hours a day, it's whether you can afford not to. Look, I get it. You've probably tried dozens of productivity systems. The Pomodoro technique, time blocking, the Eisenhower box, getting things done, all promise remarkable results but often collapse under real-world pressures. Why? Most productivity systems treat your brain like a machine to be optimized. Your brain, however, is a living organ with natural rhythms and limitations. The 2-hour workday system works differently. It's built on a fundamental truth. Your brain has natural patterns of energy and focus that can't be overridden with willpower or caffeine. Rather than fighting these patterns, this system aligns with them. Like swimming with the current instead of against it, you move forward with less effort and greater results. This system consists of 3 straightforward phases: a 15-minute preparation phase, a 90-minute focused work block, and a 15-minute review phase. That's it, 2 hours total. I know what you're thinking, only 2 hours? That can't possibly be enough time. I thought the same thing. We're not replacing your entire workday, we're structuring its most valuable part. Each phase serves a specific cognitive purpose. The preparation phase activates your brain and creates clarity about what matters most. Think of it as warming up before exercise. You wouldn't lift heavy weights without preparing your muscles first. Your brain deserves the same consideration. The 90-minute focused work block is where you create true value. This timing aligns with your brain's natural ultradian rhythm. During this phase, you tackle your single most important task with complete focus and zero distractions. No social media, no email checking, no interruptions from coworkers, just pure, uninterrupted focus on work that moves the needle forward. The 15-minute review phase lets you capture insights, document progress, and set tomorrow's priorities. This reflection transforms productivity into a learning experience that improves your effectiveness day after day. The common objection arises, but I have way more than 2 hours of work. Of course you do. Everyone does. The key insight is that not all work hours hold equal value. The quality of your focus matters far more than the quantity of your time. Remember those magical mornings where you accomplished more in 2 hours than you usually do in 2 days? That wasn't luck. It was your brain operating at its natural peak. The 2-hour workday system recreates those conditions daily, not by chance. What makes this approach powerful is its structure. Each phase builds upon the previous one, creating a framework that supports your brain's natural functioning. The preparation phase eliminates decision fatigue before you start. The focused work phase leverages your peak mental energy. The review phase preserves insights that would otherwise fade. One major misconception about productivity is that longer hours mean greater output. In reality, extended hours lead to diminishing returns, scattered focus, depleted energy, and time wasted on low-value activities just to feel busy. The 2-hour workday system reverses this equation. It maximizes value created per hour rather than hours worked, quality over quantity, intensity over duration, results over busy work. When I first tried this system, skepticism filled me. It seemed too simple to work effectively, but the results proved undeniable. In those 2 structured hours, I consistently accomplished what previously took entire days. Projects that dragged for weeks suddenly came together in days. The rest of my time opened for other important aspects of life: family, health, learning, even guilt-free leisure. The benefits ripple through your entire day. After completing your most important work in a focused 2-hour block, pressure subsides. You handle emails, meetings, and administrative tasks without the nagging feeling that something more important awaits. Your energy remains more consistent because you're not constantly switching between deep and shallow work. This system offers remarkable flexibility. The core structure remains consistent. 15 minutes of preparation, 90 minutes of focused work, and 15 minutes of review. But you adapt the specifics to your situation. Some people perform their 2-hour block first thing in the morning. Others find peak focus in the afternoon or evening. Timing matters less than structure and consistency. You might wonder how this fits into traditional work environments, with meetings, emails, and interruptions. That's a valid concern, and we'll address specific strategies later in this video. For now, remember that even in chaotic workplaces, you can carve out 2 hours of focused time when you make it a non-negotiable priority. The power of the 2-hour workday system lies in creating a structured framework that maximizes your brain's natural abilities while minimizing wasted energy. It eliminates common productivity killers: task switching, decision fatigue, unclear priorities, and constant distractions. When you align your work with your brain's natural functioning, something remarkable happens. The resistance that makes work feel difficult begins to dissolve. Work becomes more engaging, more satisfying, and paradoxically, requires less willpower because you're working with your brain's natural tendencies rather than against them. The 15-minute preparation phase, setting your brain up for success. That warm-up period I mentioned? Most people skip it entirely and wonder why they can't focus. It's like trying to run a marathon without tying your shoes. Those 15 minutes of preparation are the difference between spinning your wheels and making real progress on what actually matters. Think about how you typically start your workday. If you're like most people, You probably grab your phone before you even get out of bed, check your email while brushing your teeth, and by the time you sit down to work, you're already responding to other people's emergencies. Your brain is scattered in 15 different directions before you've even had a chance to decide what you need to accomplish today. I used to do the exact same thing. I'd sit down at my desk and immediately open my inbox, which basically meant I was letting random people from around the world decide what I should focus on. By noon, I'd have responded to dozens of messages, but made zero progress on my actual priorities. No wonder I felt like I needed to work those long hours. I was wasting the best part of my day on low-value tasks. The preparation phase fixes this problem completely. It's a deliberate 15-minute ritual that primes your brain for deep work and ensures you're focused on what truly matters. This is a specific 5-step process that creates the mental and physical conditions for peak performance. Think of this preparation phase as building a launch pad for your productivity. Just like a rocket needs a stable platform to lift off, your brain needs the right conditions to achieve escape velocity from distractions and enter a state of flow. These 15 minutes build that launch pad, allowing you to soar above the daily chaos. Here's exactly what happens in these 15 minutes. Step 1. Clear your workspace, 2 to 3 minutes. Remove everything except what's needed for your most important task. Research shows that visual clutter creates cognitive clutter. This physical reset signals to your brain that it's time to focus. Step 2. Review your goals, 2-3 minutes. Connect today's work to your bigger objectives. This activates what psychologists call implementation intention, priming your brain to notice opportunities related to your goals. Ask yourself, what could I do today that would move these forward? Step 3. Select your power task. Instead of an overwhelming to-do list, choose the one thing that would make today successful, even if nothing else gets done. Ask, which task would make other tasks easier? Which would I regret most if not completed? Which has the biggest impact on my important goals? Step 4. Gather all resources. Collect everything you'll need: reference materials, data tools, even snacks or water. This prevents breaking your focus later. Ever been in the zone, then had to stop to search for something? That interruption can cost your entire flow state. Step 5. Set your intention. Mentally commit to how you'll approach the work. Decide how long you'll focus, what specific outcome you want, and what distractions you'll ignore. This creates a pre-commitment device that makes you much less likely to get sidetracked. The difference can be dramatic. When I started using this preparation phase, my productivity doubled. Not because I was working faster, but because I stopped wasting time on unimportant tasks and prevented the constant context switching that was killing my focus. This preparation phase addresses the exact problems that derail most people's productivity. It handles decision fatigue by front-loading decisions, so you don't waste precious willpower during your actual work time. It creates a protective bubble around your most important task, ensuring it gets your best energy before the day's demands start pulling you in different directions. The quality of your preparation directly determines the quality of your work. Olympic athletes spend hours preparing for minutes of performance. Surgeons meticulously prepare before making a single incision. Yet knowledge workers typically jump straight into complex cognitive tasks with zero preparation and wonder why they can't maintain focus. I had a client who was struggling to write his book. He'd been working on it for 2 years but had only completed a few chapters. He was starting each writing session cold, just opening his laptop and staring at the blank page, hoping inspiration would strike. We implemented the 15-minute preparation phase, and the transformation was immediate. By clearing his space, reviewing his outline, selecting which specific section to work on, gathering reference materials, and setting his intention to write 500 words without editing, he finally broke through his block. 6 months later, his manuscript was complete. You might be thinking, but I don't have time for 15 minutes of preparation. Here's the reality. You don't have time not to prepare. Those 15 minutes save hours of wasted effort, false starts, and scattered attention. The most surprising benefit is how this preparation affects your mindset. You shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. You're no longer at the mercy of your inbox or your coworkers' interruptions. You're in control of your attention and your outcomes. The specific questions you ask during your preparation are critical. Beyond identifying your power task, ask yourself, what obstacles might prevent me from completing this? How will I handle interruptions? What would success look like for this session? Answering these questions creates a mental roadmap that keeps you on track when challenges emerge. One last thing that might surprise you, this preparation phase actually becomes enjoyable. There's something deeply satisfying about creating order before diving into complex work. It becomes a ritual that signals to your brain that it's time to shift gears from everyday thinking to deep focus. The 90-minute focused work block, where the magic happens. With your launchpad built, you're ready for the heart of the 2-hour workday system. What if I told you that working intensely for just 90 minutes could accomplish more than most people do in an entire day? It sounds impossible, right? But there's a biological reason why this works that most productivity systems completely ignore. Your brain isn't designed to function like a machine that runs at constant speed all day long. Instead, it operates in what scientists call ultradian rhythms, natural cycles of high energy followed by periods where your brain needs recovery. These cycles typically last about 90 minutes, after which your brain naturally wants a break. When you fight against these rhythms by forcing yourself to keep working, you're actually working against your biology. This 90-minute focused work block is where the real transformation happens in the 2-hour workday system. It creates the conditions for achieving flow state, that magical zone where you're fully immersed in your work like a well-oiled machine hitting its stride. Time seems to disappear, and your best ideas emerge effortlessly. How do we structure these 90 minutes for maximum impact? Breaking it into 3 25-minute sessions works best for most people.